discussion and even agreed under which party we will field a candidate. But Uhuru Kenyatta, who has run a legacy borrowed from his father of marginalization, exclusion, of alienation, of disenfranchisement, areas that they deliberately left out of the prism of development, areas that they decided young children will be born without water, without shelter, without education, without infrastructure. A legacy he continued even in his own presidency. Has the audacity to go and incite a sister to run against a brother, creating animosity or building on the animosity of a family. I am happy the people of Isiolo have sent a resounding message. The people of Isiolo were not sending a message to Bina. Bina is innocent. They were sending a message to Uhuru Kenyatta. The brother won with 90% of the votes. At least in your retirement, exercise some level of decorum and humility. You were president for 10 years. You messed up the country. You messed up the economy. You left us in debt. You did not visit these marginal areas. You take a young woman, put her against her brother to create discord, and then even ignore her after that when you realize you are losing. This Uhuru Kenyatta is today the patron of this opposition, the face of facade, a patron who is bent on preserving that status quo that we are talking about. So, and I'm cautioning areas that have been historically marginalized. Be wary. That's why you find in our areas, sisi tushaamua ni 2-term. Nenda Northern Kenya, coast, it's only one young man, Anajicha Jicho something. He's the only leader. In that whole area, shows you every marketplace has at least one madman. The whole area of Northern Kenya and coast is tucked in under a 2-term presidency. Is tucked in under a government that has offered them dignity and representation. Only one person, who Wamunyoro has confessed in his social media, he has trained and mentored. What do you expect of a mentor, a mentee of Wamunyoro? By everybody, from Lamu to Kiunga, from Kiunga to everywhere, to North Ho, to Lokichogio. We are boldly behind William Ruto, the UDA party, and transformative leadership. And you know, one day I told you, hii chama, hata kama kuna gazeti moja mbili hapa, you run headlines of malice. We are deeply rooted in the grassroots. I told you this party is going to be there. You thought wewe unafikiria mimi ni ile secretary general ya kwenda kupiga kelele. Mimi ni ya kupanga. Sisi tunapanga hii chama. Unapiga kelele. Who are trying to run against us. No track record. Barabara zao za nyumbani ni vumbi. Wao wenyewe ni vumbi. Wanaitwa majina ya wadudu. Wanaitwa chameleon, wengine anaitwa watermelon, anaitwa majina ya mafruit. So you do so I'm asking you, as Kenyans first, we are really energized. But I also to urge you as the UDA fraternity, let's now get out and build the party. Shouldn't allow this continued facade of Kenyans in the social media trying to create pandemonium and discord. A whole newspaper and media houses owned from proceeds of past corruption are constantly telling us what to do. Kenya, tukija kuambia story, vijana yote ile ya mabonyenye wameshikana sasa kupigana na vijana wale without surnames. Jamaa anasema anataka Kibicho, anaitwa Kibicho. I was reading an article saying generational change. But let me tell you a story as I wind up. I was in the NADCO, National Dialogue Committee. I, Cecily Mbarire, We were co-chaired by Kimani Ichung'wah. The majority leader of the Senate was also there. The late Raila Odinga went and told President William Ruto that Kalonzo Musyoka had complained that our delegation from UDA was fairly junior. Kwa upande wao alikuwa yeye, alikuwa Eugene, alikuwa yule jamaa anaitwa yule ambaye kujipigia kura anaitwaje? Alikuwa Secretary General wa Jubilee. Kioni. Bruto told him, we are the most senior leaders in the UDA. These people were talking about generational transformation. It has already happened in UDA. Our president is a young president. Our treasurer is in his 30s. Our majority leaders are in their 30s and 40s. Cecily is a young, brilliant woman. Yours truly, Hassan Omar, is here. Professor Kindiki has unmatched potential and qualities, which hii transformation ilianza kitambo. That's why now we are sowing the seeds of reorganizing totally the architecture of this state, to give access and dignity to people you denied livelihoods. Unazaa mtoto Lokichogio, tunazaliwa huko pwani, hatuna barabara, hatuna maji, hatuna stima, hatuna elimu. Alafu unatuita wajinga, badala kutuita wavuvi unatuita wavivu. Mnakwenda mnasema yule mwingine ni ngoroko, unaita mwingine shifter. Mnaweka with lack of development there is definitely insecurity. You start to seal them. You treat them like concentration camps. William Ruto has changed that. Mlifanya mchezo na mzaha ya barabara zile zilikuwa zinajengwa sijui na spare tarbach sijui Garbatula, mkafikiria ni uongo. Iko maji inafika huko. Last mile yetu, hakuna Mkenya atazaliwa tena iwe nipata potea bahati nasibu. Wakenya anazaliwa hapa. Mnaona mtu mmoja anaitwa Bonaya Godana, msema he's brilliant. Kwa ajili by chance alipita shule. Alimelelewa na mashirika ya kanisa. Oxfam ndio imeleta maji. Shame on you. Alafu mnakuja hapa mnatuanza we have tried to dignify Kenyans. Alafu mnataka Kalonzo Musyoka has no recognizable footprint in any development. Eugene Wamalwa, who is he? I look at James Orengo, my elder. I don't know the contradiction of standing on a platform with Wamunyoro and Watermelon and Eugene and saying you are looking for Kenya's transformation. Hey, hata uzee mimi naomba inijie uzuri. Hata nimeacha nywele yangu nyeupe ionekane so that when I age muaseme hao ni reactionaries. Progressives ndio hizi. Hii Economic Council, who are they? They're some of the most brilliant minds. This country is headed by some of the most brilliant minds. Hata kama wanaenda kotini kuzuia, because they know what it is doing. They've stabilized the economy. They've eased the burden on the dollar. We have ensured security of supply. We have repaired our agriculture. We are dealing with our MSMEs. We are doing tunajenga infrastructure. Tumelipa debt ambazo tuliwekewa na watu wengine na hatujalalamika. Cost tunajenga special economic zone. Infrastructure inaendelea. Manufacturing inaendelea. Mko na special economic zone inajengwa Nyanza. Every country, every Kenyan is being put in inclusive prism of development. Alafu nyinyi mnasema mnatazuia SHA ili muwapatie nini? A system that has failed. NHIF. Mnasema mtazuia manyumba ili watu waishi wapi? Mkwe landlords ya watu in Kibera. Tuacheni bwana. Hii nchi, I am very grateful that Kenyans out there who you ignore most have seen the impact of this government. That's why ndugu yangu Muturi, Democratic Party unateta umewekwa wino mwingi. Hiyo ni tension. Unawekwa mtoto mdogo na kupaka karibu upige yeye kofi. Wamunyoro has turned him into a vile human being because Wamunyoro is angry about anything and everything. So the whole group is angry. Wewe uko hapo na candidate yako hapa anapata kura 1,000, yetu anapata 7,000. Ati wewe ni party leader. Ati unatafuta uongozi ya nchi. Sasa kwa umebaki tu na sisi tukakupanga. So we have to be quite, we now have to speak assertively. The Kenyans are speaking and they are telling us to be bold. This is what the message is coming from by-election after by-election. They are asking us tusiwache maneno inaendelea. And they have read through your bluff. They have seen the disinformation. Munatafuta hivi, munatafuta ile. Wakenya wameona na kila siku. Na nyinyi mnajua hii election ilikuwa President William Ruto ameprophesize 3 million margin, vile mambo inaenda ni 5. 5, I'm telling you. Kama huko maeneo Wamunyoro anasema watu yangu wa mlima na iko hapa. Sasa iko wapi hiyo kura ya 2-3 wanatafuta?